Let it Let it
Good evening to you. Good evening to you. How are you doing this evening? Good evening. I see Pastor D made it in first and early. Joycey, hello. Sylvia, hello. And Chevelle. All right, getting it together here. Camille, good evening. Hello. Tasha Ross, Diana Santos, Anna Roman, Crystal Adgers, good evening. Hello. Renee Holly, Nicole Nicholson, Carla Rankin, Cynthia Baisden, Pastor Val, Joycey, Coach Maria. Good evening and hello. Good evening, Jenny, Charnette, good evening. Jerry, Latrice, Prudence, and Kamisha. Good evening, Tasha Ross. Good evening, Gwen Molden. Ronnie Bonner, good evening. Debbie Baker, come on, that's right. I don't think I've seen your name on. You've been busy? Need this seat tonight, she says. Good evening. Crystal Adgers. I'm going to try to pronounce your name. You'll have to teach me. Forgive me. Agwe or Aju. Good evening, Frederica, Manuel, Latanya, my coach. Good evening, John Booker, Ebony. Coach Ebony, good evening. It is freezing. I haven't been out all day, and I'm fine with that. I worked all day. Y'all probably got a whole bunch of emails from me. I apologize. You had to get so many at one time, but I was behind. People were asking for specific things on their t-shirts and hoodies and all that stuff. So I had a chance today to do it. And after I finished clients this morning, I got on it and got it done. Sat down for 2 hours and got back up on here to talk to my people. She's gonna fit how I keep pushing my hair behind my ear. I don't feel like hearing her today. My image consultant. Good evening, Vanessa and Keisha. Sitting in the front of the class, got my pen and pad. Good evening, Nicole N. That's what I like to hear. There is Ashley. I feel like you're our baby detoxer. Good evening, Blessed. Prophetess Erica. Angela Copeland. Misha. Haven't heard from you all day. How are you? Dominique. Balanced Living. Good evening. Good evening, Darlene Henry. Mike Tate, Gwen Tucker, Doris, hello. Gwendolyn C, Ruby, welcome. Elitza, Aji, welcome. Welcome. Priscilla Harris, Gwyneth Douglas, Tennille, good evening. Jeannie, good evening. Cheryl, all right. Weather got y'all in the house tonight, huh? Taisha, good evening. Oh, Joycey's giving Cheryl Wilberg Johnson flowers. I love that. So beautiful. I have the best seat in the house. We have the best seat in the house. We have the first seat in the house, and we have the front row seat in the classroom. Yes. Awesome. Good evening. I see you there, Gwen Tucker. Good evening. How are you doing? How's your journaling? Are y'all staying alive? Staying alive? Staying alive? Because that's not the DMs and the emails that I'm getting. Hello, Caritha. That's not the DMs and the emails that I'm getting. How are you doing? All right. All right. All right. Let's get to the regular business at hand, and we're going to jump in. Welcome. Greet each other. Say hello. Please take a moment and like and share. Please just consider that your reasonable service after receiving masterclass after masterclass after masterclass. At least you can hit like and share, please. We would so much appreciate it. That's something that we cannot do on our own. But I study, I get educated, and sometimes I get edumacated, trainings and certificates and classes and all this good stuff that I pay for and enjoy. And if I can just ask for a like, oh my God, that would be so wonderful from you. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Facebook. Thank you, Prophetess Erica. Like, shared, and invited. Hello, Devana. Good evening, Pastor Beverly. All right, let's start with our regular introductions. Welcome to Soul Detox 2022. We're studying self-awareness for this month. And the road to self-awareness is a journey. The road to self-awareness is a journey. I want to read a beautiful testimony from a young lady. And she said this, it was about a day ago. It is one of those days I'm just out of it, in a funk and feeling so tired. Anyone else feeling that way? Or are y'all coming up now? We're on the 14th day. Tomorrow should make a big difference. I did take some me time and took a small nap while the kids were at school and the house was quiet. Sounds lovely to me. I usually never take naps because I always feel like I have to keep moving. And it's the wrong time to take a nap for me, to just rest. But today, I canceled a few runs I had to do and just laid down. Definitely realizing I need to do that more often and schedule me, capital M-E days. Learning that it's okay to stop everything I'm doing and just take care of me. Can anyone agree with that? Is there anyone in here that says, whoop, whoop, you get a whoop, whoop for that? Me too. See, I'm seeing the hand claps. I'm seeing the me toos. Very good. Let's encourage these testimonies, these great testimonies. People are, one part of being self-awareness is being vulnerable. So people are taking this vulnerability to the next level. I don't know if y'all noticed the post that I put up today, but it reads, instead of saying I'm damaged, I'm broken, say I'm healing, I'm rediscovering myself, I'm starting over. What is broken can be mended. What hurts can be healed. And no matter how hard it gets, you will rise again. Welcome to Soul Detox. Let us begin. Let's thank our online givers. Let's thank our online givers. I want to thank Latrice for her Cash App seed. We had a good talk today about a seed, and she put a little plant in for her note for giving. Ashley, I want to thank you for your Cash App seed. She says, a little scared, but it's for the journey, and I'm ready. Very good. Elitza, thank you for your seed. She says, for my commitment to masterclass. Thank you. Anna, for my 13th day. Thank you. And this one I think I read yesterday. Yes. So those are the online givers. Thank you. I did get a few more people asking me, thanking me that the audio and visual is very clear. I'm on Ethernet this year instead of depending on Wi-Fi. And I purchased a microphone set. So your giving is used in return to bless you and those that we want to extend this to. Can you think of anyone that really needs this, but you know probably wouldn't be ready for it, wouldn't accept it, wouldn't even acknowledge it? Imagine their timeline and their coincidentally running across this teaching and getting the help that you've wanted them to help. Is it a mother? Is it a father? Is it an aunt, family member, good friend, future lover, former lover, somebody you just wish would get a hold of some life-changing information? Sow a seed and where you want to be. I'm so excited today. Yesterday I had a meltdown, but today is much better. I have been journaling more than ever before. Balanced living. If you scroll up, you'll see Pastor D's first comment tonight that she's journaling more than ever before. I sent the video to 4 people today. Wow, beautiful. Thank y'all so much. Thank you from me, but also thank you for those that are going to come across this. It was a girl who inboxed me, a woman who inboxed me on YouTube, and she said, these videos are really good. Why don't you have more likes? And I have never heard from her again. I don't even know who she is, but somehow one of my videos came across her page. And she said, the video was really good. Why don't you have more likes? And it was not these current ones either. It was the one I was teaching on. The title was, Can My Mother Be Jealous of Me? And she went and listened to all of them. She made comments on all of the YouTube videos. And that was the comment that YouTube sent to me that was like marked with a star or something special. And if you happen to go on it, you'll see where she says, this stuff is really good information. Why don't you have more likes? So we have to do our part, detoxers. You are the delegates. You are the offspring, the seed of Soul Detox. You've been given delegated duty and responsibility to not just learn and soak up all this information, but to be willing to pass it on to others. One of my clients last week in my office said, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm not trying to get this to anybody else right now. I said, I understand that. I hear that quite often, but we'll work this out. You will still get your time. We'll get your work done. But just imagine all those souls that would be lost or waiting for something to happen, like we have been waiting for this to happen. Beautiful. I'm going back to the video and hitting like. Thank you. I need better time management and really need to push for myself to do journaling more because I do enjoy it. It makes a difference. It makes a big difference. All right. Business is out of the way. Let's jump in tonight. Tonight, we're going to do and it's not the 15th day, it's the 14th day, but it's going to take us 2 days to do this. So tonight, we're going to do our soul check-in. We're going to do our soul check-in. And I do have a beautiful song that I want to play, but I didn't have a chance to put up in the comments. What is it you have to post? I don't own the rights to this music, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. But it's a beautiful song that I want to play for all of those who gave testimony. That's right, John Booker. You can also listen on Spotify. Before we hang up at night, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, Amazon, they're all updated. So you can take it right to your room. You don't even have to depend on YouTube and trying to watch things. Sometimes watching and listening can be a little bit of a distraction, but you can go on and just plug your ears in and just listen. Very good. All right. So let's do our check-in. Our check-in. There we go. Let's do our check-in. To do our 14, 15-day check-in. Why do I lack self-awareness? Why do I lack self-awareness? What does a lack of awareness mean? Tomorrow we'll hit the part where what does a lack of awareness look like? What does a lack of awareness mean? Lack of awareness is a major problem that deteriorates our quality of life as it affects the vision we have of ourselves and prevents us from functioning properly in society. I'm going to read it again. Lack of self-awareness is an annoying emotion that blocks us in decisions and actions. What does a lack of self-awareness mean? A lack of awareness is a major problem that deteriorates our quality of life as it affects the vision we have of ourselves and prevents us from functioning properly in society. Lack of self-awareness is an annoying emotion that blocks us in decisions and actions. If you suffer from a lack of self-awareness, it is important to discover what causes this in you. If you suffer from a lack of self-awareness, it is important to discover what causes this in you. If you can identify why you lack self-awareness, you can begin to take the steps to improve self-awareness. Some of the causes of a lack of self-awareness is a fear of criticism. Is a fear of criticism. Some of the causes of lack of self-awareness is a fear of criticism. How many of you feel like you suffer with that? That you have a fear of criticism? If that's you, let me see a yes or a hand emoji. Do you feel like you lack self-awareness because you have a fear of criticism? I see the mics going up already. Fear of criticism. Good, 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 good. It's freeing. Just be free. We're in a non-judgmental zone. We're with other people who have decided they want to determine the destination of their mind. We are with other people who have decided that they can control more things if they were aware of more things. Some of the causes of lack of self-awareness are fear of criticism, self-doubt. Anyone can admit you suffer or you lack self-awareness because of self-doubt. Do you seem to go through self-doubting often, more often than you'd like? Let's see hands for that. Come on, I'll move on when I see some responses. I know y'all probably journaling and whatnot, but we'll get through it together. I need your replays anyway. Got to get these numbers up. We got work to do. We've been assigned. All right. Fear of criticism, self-doubt, lack of assertiveness. Who on here can say you lack assertiveness? I'm looking at the chat. I'm watching it go up, watching your thumbs, your hands raised. Yes. Mm-hmm. Lack of assertiveness. Very good, Tish. Okay. Now this next one, I need you to promise me you're still going to love me in the morning. Some of the causes of lack of self-awareness are fear of criticism, self-doubt, lack of assertiveness, and perfectionism. Where's my perfection babies at? Where you at? Let me see my perfectionist. Let me see my perfectionist. Where are you? That's good, Cheryl. A lack of awareness means I'm hiding from myself. I think we got another t-shirt coming up. Yep. Yep, that's me. Hands raised here, right here, and I'll still love you. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Perfectionist. Come on. All right. I'm going to move in now. So let's move in a little slower. You might want to roll up your pant legs because the water is only at your ankles, but we're getting ready to go in calf deep. We're getting ready to go in calf deep. So let's get ready. Some of the causes of your lack of self-awareness is because of fear of criticism, self-doubt, lack of assertiveness, and perfectionism. When you lack self-awareness, it's because you are having unrealistic expectations from others' standards and opinions. Welcome. I'm seeing some names that I recognize coming in here this evening. Welcome. Welcome. We're glad you're joining us tonight. Let's get back over that 100 like we started out. We were at like 136. Now people are like, I'm dying. Man overboard, woman overboard. People are just jumping overboard. Come on home. We're here with you. We're in this together. When you lack self-awareness, it's because you are having unrealistic expectations from others' standards and opinions. What do you mean? I'm glad you asked, because we're going to go in and talk about that. Let's talk first about fear of criticism. Fear of criticism. What is that? Why do I struggle with a fear of criticism? It's just an opinion, or it's just a condiment that could actually help my life. It could improve my looks, my features, my professionalism, my spiritualism, my manhood, my womanhood. Why do I fear criticism when it's actually something that could help me? Where did I develop this fear or even this uncomfortability of receiving criticism? And if you've been listening, you notice that criticism has been another common thread that's been woven in to this pattern we've been working on for the last 14 days. The cause of fear of criticism is that you are too concerned about others' opinions and feel insecure. That's why we wrote the book. That's why we wrote the book. We wrote the book because of being too concerned about others' opinions, causing us to feel insecure, and our self-esteem takes the hit for it. And the books are back in, by the way. We had 48 when I announced it in the email earlier. We're down maybe 10 already. So if you're going to order, get your book in. We're going to go through it together. You are too concerned about others' opinions and you are insecure. Instead of taking critics as the feedback, you become defensive. Instead of taking critics as the feedback, you become defensive. I want to hear my sound effects. I need an amazing sound effect for that. Wish I had an echo. Come on. What people think is a hypnosis download that you can use to let go of your fears. Is when you care too much what others think, you are open to manipulation. When you care too much what others think, you are open to their manipulation. When you care too much what others think, you are open to manipulation. I want to see that on the screen. Let's just see something here for a minute. Can y'all still hear me? Thank you, Coach Maria. Not anymore, says Renee. Yes, yes. Yes, okay, good, because I can hear myself much clearer in here. This is probably how you guys hear me, and that's why people have been inboxing me saying, wow, the audio is so clear. Thank you. When you care too much what others think, you are open to their manipulation. Yes, my dear, this is only half cap. You got that right. Give me an experience that you've had where you feel you were manipulated. Let's make sure you recognize manipulation in your life. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take some time and explain manipulation a little further. I'll read the statement again, and I want it to connect with you. When you care too much what others think, you are open to their manipulation. My relationship with my children's father. All right. I can guess exactly what you mean. That's a place where manipulation can definitely happen in relationships. When you are always worrying about what others think, what they feel about you, you are careful about being vulnerable or transparent because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to try new things because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to come out of old things because you don't want to be judged. There you go. Danielle's posted it up here for me. Doing something because someone guilt tripped you into it. Manipulation. Let me tell you the difference between the soul and the spirit. God never manipulates us. God doesn't deal with the soul. The medium between humanity and God is the spirit. When God wants to communicate with us, he goes through our spirit. The soul is the place that is open to soulish issues, manipulation, tension, witchcraft. It has all of our senses where we can be tempted at. So when you're concerned about what other people think, you would tend to be manipulated by those same people because their words or their opinions hold weight for you because you haven't gotten to a place where your words and your opinions are at the top of your list. I'm reading your comments. And it's amazing because this also can be a learned behavior. If your mom was in a manipulative relationship, you will probably either function in manipulation or become a manipulator. because it's a learned behavior. It's something you watched. You watched this dynamic go back and forth. You can also be manipulated by people you know because of perceptions you have from people you don't know. That's a heavy one right there. When there's things that you won't do, you won't say, you won't wear, you won't speak about the gospel, you won't read your Bible in public because you care about what other people think. So you are being manipulated to be what they want you to be, or you are being manipulated to be what you think they want you to be. Some people have never said a thing, but your perception of what they're thinking or saying will manipulate you to do something you don't really want to do, be somewhere you don't really want to be, get involved in something you don't even want to get involved in, because you've been manipulated. And again, it can happen by people you know, but the trigger is from the general public sometimes. When you care too much what others think, you are open to manipulation. When you care less what others think, you become more honest as a person because you don't have to pretend anymore. Let's look at the other side of the scale. Anyone who knows me from coaching and counseling, I always use scales. We have truth and we have trash. We have words that were said to us over our lives, statements, names we were called, lies we were told, promises that we were told, dreams that we've had, self-talk that just comes from our inner self, and we have to deal with it. Is there some truth to it, or is it trash? And we'll look for receipts. And sometimes we've had things that was in the trash, we had to take out and put it in the truth. But because it hurt, we threw it in the trash and found ourselves going back in that trash, pulling it out and saying, no, this was a true statement I need to deal with. When you care less what others think, you become a more honest person because you don't have to pretend as much anymore. When you have gotten over that inferiority complex, you'll feel much better about yourself regardless of the facts. Wow. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? When you've gotten over that inferiority complex where people are inferior to you, that you're inferior to other people, you don't have to pretend so much. So what happens is you'll feel a lot better about yourself regardless of the facts. Let's just say there are some things about you. You know, I've had clients that come in and say, you know, I don't even know how to dress. I don't even know how to decorate. All my life, it's been about what my mom wanted. And then I got pregnant young. I got married young. And it's been all about what he wanted or she wanted or what they wanted. I don't even know what genre of books I like to read. I don't know if I would do well in school, and I have a desire to always have gone and taken some classes. I wanted to complete my high school diploma. I've wanted to travel. I want to go to art shows. And there's so much that I just don't do because I was told that things are scary or fearful, or I don't need it. It's not worth it. It's not as much as you think it would be. So people begin to manipulate you and talk you out of things that you've always wanted to do. But the closer you can get to caring less about what others think, you can become a more honest person, less pretentious, get over that inferiority complex, and feel much better about yourself. Whether you don't dress right, you don't know how to do your hair, your makeup's never applied right. No matter what the facts that are there, you can still love yourself in spite of. This session tonight is going to stop you from assuming you are not as good as others and help you accept your areas of strength as well as weaknesses with objectivity and calmness. Did you hear what tonight's going to be about? This session that you are in, it's just me and you in my office. We're spending some good, needed time together. Just get that visual. You came in, closed the door, sat in the best seat in the house. You have something that you really love with you, a throw, or, just something you're holding your Bible in your hand, or, just something that really makes you feel good and comfortable. And just take the tension off your neck and your shoulders. Do your breathing and understand that this session will stop you from assuming you're not as good as others and help you accept your areas of strength as well as weaknesses with objectivity and calmness. Let's talk about number 2. Let's talk about a lack of assertiveness. A lack of assertiveness. If you can't express your needs and stand up for yourself, you become resentful and angry. Where you at? If you can't express your needs and stand up for yourself, you become resentful and angry. If we were in the office truly alone on a Zoom, or physically or virtually together, just the two of us, we would really go into that. I have a whole coaching package on not standing up for yourself. Who's protected you? Who's defended you? Who's responsible for you? Because when you don't stand up for yourself and can't express your needs, you become resentful and angry of others, yes, and also of yourself. A lack of assertiveness creates insecurity, doubt, and pessimism. Come on, did you hear that? You have to express your needs and you have to learn to stand up for yourself. Because if not, you're going to continue in resentful behaviors and angry behaviors. And I want to help you get out of that. A lack of assertiveness creates insecurity, doubt, and pessimism. When you learn to become assertive, people will realize that you know your mind, and they will give you more respect and consider you capable of more responsibility. You will be treated with more respect and you will feel better about yourself. And we'd spend a whole session on that. We're on number 2 already, but if we were in our session, we probably wouldn't get to number 2, unless it was a strength for you. Come on. When people don't know how to express their needs and stand up for themselves, yes, someone named it. They tend to be very defensive people, very defensiveness in response to you. But people who cannot express their needs and stand up for themselves are usually very aggressive people, very aggressive people. And I want to make it clear tonight, standing up for yourself and being able to express your needs does not call for aggression. It just calls for assertiveness. You just have to be assertive. You have to assert yourself in the dynamics of life. Assert yourself in the dynamics of relationship. Assert yourself in the dynamics of the work office. Assert yourself in the dynamics of who's first on your list. Did you see how you just took your name and was able to pop it right at the top? That's inserting. And that's the same thing you have to start doing if you want to become more self-aware and being able to express your needs and stand up for yourself. Just assert yourself. Stop throwing your needs to the side. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Oh, I probably won't get it anyway. Oh, you forgot me? Oh, that's okay. No, if they're not going to go and do what they were going to do for you because they forgot you, guess what you need to do? Go and do it yourself. Because you have to show people how to treat you. So you have to show people that I care enough for myself. I'm that important to me. I'm not blaming you or expecting anything from you right now. So what I have to do is show you how I care for myself so you will know how to care for me. I say that because oftentimes we expect people to care for us better than we care for ourselves. Why? You teach people how to treat you. You show them by how you care or don't care for yourself. You are teaching and showing people how to treat you. So if everything's okay, well, you know, if I go to the store and I'm getting 3 takeout meals and yours get messed up, oh, I'm glad it was her because she's not going to care. In other words, she doesn't care about herself, so she won't care if I forgot her meal. She'll eat whatever they gave her, or she'll eat it like this. Oh, I knocked your drink on the floor. Oh, it's okay. We don't have any more of that carrot juice left, but we have water, but I wanted carrot juice. Yeah, but I dropped it on the floor. Well, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I'll be all right. You don't know your needs. So you're teaching people that if there's going to be someone that's going to be left out, or someone who's going to be thought less of, or someone who is not going to be at the top of someone else's list, it's going to be the person who is not at the top of their own list. You teach people by showing people how you treat yourself, how to treat you. No, Crystal, I'm talking about with friends. If you and I are out and I knock your beverage over and I know you to always be, it's okay. It's no problem. It's all right. You're going to be the person that I would choose out of the other 4 people whose drink. Oh, I'm glad it was yours I knocked over, because you don't care about yourself. So you don't care about how people treat you. You show people and you teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. And while we are on this, how about those people that you get around and you know they're not at the top of their list? Come on, you can recognize them. You may not have recognized you were not on the top of the list, but I'm sure you have recognized when others were not on the top of their list. You could tell the way they carry themselves, whether it's important for them to put shoes on or come out in slippers, whether they bother to put on a nice dress and add a nice lotion or oil or perfume to their clothing, whether they take that time to just primp their hair just a little bit more. You know, they take the time to make sure that their skin is oiled, or their hands are not hard, especially in this weather, and chafe. They go that little extra. They didn't just get dressed and got out of bed. They got dressed, they got out of bed with intention, and they got dressed with direction and purpose. And when you see someone carry themselves like that, when they walk in a store or a bank, that representative is already judged them and is determining how they're going to handle this person. This kind of goes hand in hand with what I talked about last Saturday night when my husband and I went out to dinner and how they treated us when we walked in. If you want people to look at you as more than average, you have to show up as more than average. And if you're treated average and you want to be treated better than average, you have to show up better than average. And once you get this in your system, you can show up less than average and still get above average respect, because there is an image, there's a reputation, there's an air about you where even though you're dressed down, people are wondering, who's that lady right there? Excuse me, anybody know that gentleman's name? There's just something about him. Have you ever heard people say there's just something about you? And you're like, I'm not dressed looking like I just threw this on, ran to the store. I do a lot of my business in Hartford and online. When I'm out here in Windsor Locks, I'm just kind of like me. So I could be in the middle of cleaning and run into my local Walgreens. But before I go in there, I have to take my scarf off my head, brush my hair down. I might put a little blush if I look a little peaked, put some gloss on. And sometimes I'll put on a fresh sweatsuit. I'll do all that to run in the store. Before I get online, I put perfume on. And my husband always laughs. He's like, ain't nobody gonna smell you, because it's not about them. I don't do it for people anymore. I do it for me, so that when I don't have perfume on, there's still a fragrance about me that people who don't even know me smell. Am I breaking through to the mindsets tonight? There has to be a style, an image about you that brings a level of respect from other people. We say we don't want to judge. We say that we don't want to but we judge things and people every second of every day. A lot of people won't even get on with their entrepreneurial business because they don't want to be judged. A lot of people won't get online because they don't want to be judged, because you are going to be judged. And how about the same people who, I'm tired of people judging me on Facebook. I'm taking a social media break. Well, stop posting what you post on Facebook if you don't want to be judged. When you put your business in the public, you have given the public a right to judge. I say it to people often. I say, only because you put me in your business, I feel inclined to make this statement to you. And they're looking like, I don't need you to make well, you shouldn't put me in it then. Because when you put your stuff public, you're giving people the open door to judge you or to make comments. So let's work on bringing ourselves up to the top of our list externally. Externally, let's work on bringing ourselves to the top of the list externally right now. And stop walking around like you're depressed. Stop wearing yoga pants because you're overweight. Let's start working on our weight. Stop buying clothes too big. And then when you get too big for those, oh, well, I better buy 2 sizes this time because this is what I did. And you know what happened to me? You grow into those 2 sizes too big. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself. That's giving your mind a permission to gain a little bit more. I found myself doing that. I said, I'm not going to get past this 10. I got past this 10. And then when I put on the 12 and the 12 was a little snug, I said, well, let me get a couple sizes too big because I don't want, I have to be before people. I don't want people seeing my body shape and all that stuff. And next thing you know, you're growing into the next size too big. No, let's care about ourselves. Let's show up. When I went to the doctor this year and she told me she wanted me to work on losing weight, you only had to tell me twice. Nobody's going to have to tell me something that I should know about my own self-care. I was like, oh, the challenge is on. I even called her the other week and said, can you tell me what was my weight when I was in for my yearly visit? Because I want you to know I've done some work and I've already dropped 17 pounds and I got 30 to go. And then I want to go for the last 10, 40. Why am I telling you this? Because how you care about yourself tells people how to treat you. And I could say, I'm sorry that, that's the way it is, but they're not sorry that's the way it is. Set a reputation and an image for yourself. And it doesn't cost a lot to do this. I'm telling you, you will get a whole different outlook. And be polite. While we're working on the external, be polite and thankful and kind to people. You don't have to get free stuff because you complain about the meal every time. You can get free meals because you're nice to people. You don't have to get out of tipping when everybody knew you weren't going to tip anyway because you want to complain about the service or the meal. Tip anyway. Who are you? Created in the image and the likeness of God. You have something to show up. Show up as something great. Let me make sense to you, please. You show people how to care about you. You show people how important you are by how you care about yourself. And if you don't care enough to put on some clothes, put on some shoes, brush your hair a little bit, put some lipstick or lip gloss on, whatever you're into, you're going to get a once over. The judgment is going to happen. And they're going to categorize how to treat you. And because I'm a woman, I can't stand it when I see women who show their depression in their clothing, in their dress, in their grooming. Let's help you with the depression. But in the meantime, you have to dress like you're out of that depression. Again, because you're treating people how to treat you. And part of being an adult is being able to express your needs and standing up for yourself. Stop being resentful and angry because you can't change your reputation because you think people have to accept you the way they are and people don't have a right to judge you. I don't know where that has come from. Divine judgment is the most important judgment. I don't let judgment stop me, but people judge all the time. A lack of assertiveness, a lack of being able to stand up for yourself using language, not anger, not bullying, not threatening tactics, standing up and speaking up for yourself. The Bible has so many comments about the words, how powerful words are, and what you can do with your words. Let's get out of this doubt and pessimism. Let's get out of being aggressive that people see you coming and don't want to wait on. They put clothes that when you walk into the grocery store, the clothes sign go up right away. Let's help gain and regain the respect you need or the respect you had. When you learn to become assertive, people will realize that you know your mind, and they will give you more respect and consider you more capable of responsibility. You will be treated with more respect and you will feel better about yourself. Perfectionism. Are y'all ready? Perfectionism. I particularly love the women of the 40s. I love those two-piece suits and those hats they used to wear. Those women even had hats sometime with a feather in them. They were only going shopping. They were housewives. Kids are off to school. They're running to the grocery store or they're running to a department store to get things for their husband, their household, whatever. And those women's pencil skirts, They were so tight, but not raunchy and nasty and revealing. They were so tight, the women had to take 2 little steps to get off the escalator and to walk throughout the store, laid out, going nowhere. Why? Because one, they realized that they were representing their husband. They were representing their last name. So those women showed up. No husband wants to hear, yeah, I saw your wife in the store today with a bonnet on her head. And she was in here, you know, looking like you're not taking good care of her. Her clothes was just crazy, man. And no wife wants to hear it either. And neither does your God. I love the women of the 40s. If there was a time, that would be a time I would love to be in. Those women were slayed and laid. Perfectionism leads to having unrealistic expectations from others' standards and opinions. Perfectionism leads to having unrealistic expectations from others' standards and opinions. Do y'all get me? Thinking that you can't do something unless it's perfect is an unrealistic way to approach everyday life. I just found a little typo in my book. I remember getting dressed up to go downtown. I'm coming. I got to scroll back to my page here. I went to fix my typo and hit my chapters over. I'm going to start rebuking people that text me when they know I'm online. Why aren't you on here? Don't be texting me. Perfectionism. Isn't that funny? We're talking about perfectionism and I just messed up. And I feel just fine about messing up. Oh, God. Perfectionism. Perfectionism. Thinking that you can't do something unless it's perfect. Thinking you can't do something unless it's perfect. All right, let's get free, perfectionists. As we wind down our session, let's go ahead and make our confession. We are our perfectionists tonight. Where are you at? Come on, because we're going up to the calves now, Cheryl. Yeah. And perfectionism, it's so sneaky. It's like rejection. You can get delivered or renewed from a great majority of it, but you'll still see little small shreds of that thread showing up somewhere in your life. I'm a certified perfectionist, but we're going to deliver you from that one. All right, let me go into the next line because I at least want to finish here tonight. Thinking that you can't do something unless it's perfect is an unrealistic way to approach life. It is also a way, are y'all ready? It is also a way of avoiding making mistakes that create more insecurity. It is also a way of avoiding making mistakes that create more insecurity. That's powerful. One viewer on here says, I used to feel like that after getting beaten so many times and being told to do it over, do it over, do it over. I'm much better now. Praise God for you. Praise God for you. Experience too much pressure from your parents or even friends, relationships to meet the demands and expectations that they set for you causes a lack of self-awareness. The older I get, I've become a perfectionist because of my past. Yep. Well, I think I have a note here that I've been keeping a tally of all the things that I want to teach on this year. And I don't think I had that on the list. So we're going to have to add that to our list of things we're going to work on. Perfectionism. Got it. Experience too much pressure from your parents, friends, and relationships to meet the demands and expectation that they set out for you. You're not even trying to keep the demands of what you set for yourself. The demands they set out for you causes a lack of self-awareness. Yes, Pastor D, prophesy. Setting unrealistic goals and fear of failure is another factor. Setting unrealistic goals and fear of failure is another factor for perfectionists. Perfectionists often, if not always, set unrealistic goals, which leads them to a fear of failure, and it puts them in a systematic cycle. All right, we'll introduce this section tonight, and then we'll go in deeper on tomorrow night. How do I know if I lack self-awareness? How do I know if I lack self-awareness? A lack of self-awareness is perhaps our most significant enemy to self-growth. I'm sure you can name someone in your life who lacks self-awareness. Maybe you're at the top of that list. The most egregious examples of lacking self-awareness are easy to spot. The people make excuses, have emotional outbursts, and give answers unrelated to the actual question. But the truth is, the majority of us lack self-awareness in everyday life. In fact, research has shown that out of the 95% of people that think they are self-aware, in reality, only 10 to 15% of us really are. Fortunately for you, you can change this because you have your mental health life coach and coaches that are ready to work with you. Once you accept that you probably lack self-awareness, you can start to look for the signs in your life. Then you can learn how to change it to achieve the growth that you want. Tomorrow night, we're going to pick up and we're going to talk about the signs that I'm lacking self-awareness, which will be right on schedule. It will be our 15th day, which is a perfect day to check in, halfway done, and to see how many maybe you started with, and then how many you can check right now that you actually achieved. So, fear of criticism. When you care too much what others think, you are open to manipulation. When you lack assertiveness and you don't feel that you are important enough to stand up for yourself, you're afraid to stand up for yourself. You've been beaten down or never taught how to do it as a child, always bullied. You are resentful and angry, and we want to help you with that. And to the perfectionists, that pressured experience that was once put on you by others, and now I'm sure is put on you more so by yourself, we need to break that. That needs to be broken off of your life so you can have the freedom. Because what did we talk about maybe 8 nights ago? Never waste a good mistake. Perfectionists, That's what I want you to do. That might have to be another t-shirt. Perfectionist. Never waste a good mistake. I actually like that. I might have to wear that. Because I have certain days where I am a perfectionist to the highest. I've gotten healed over a lot of that. And when I say healed, I don't mean magically. I mean, I did the work. And once in a while, I can feel it creep up in me. And I'll say, okay, what's going on? Let me check my emotional responses. Let me check my physical body. Where is something showing up at? What is it that's really bothering me? Because I can't get control over here in this situation that I'm supposed to be responsible for. So now I'm going to be trying to get everything else perfect so I can balance out all the imperfect stuff that I can't control, that I'm supposed to be in control of. Over here, I'm going to get all this perfectionism to make up and balance the skills so I can feel good about myself and sleep better tonight. But it is important to make a mistake, because if we make a mistake, we never have to make it again. So don't be down on yourself. Perfectionists, take the time to breathe, because we will never waste a good mistake. And no mistake is bad. That's enough for tonight. I think I was pretty light on tonight. I'm trying to follow the meter to know how much y'all can take, how much you can't take. So I'll let off the gas a little bit, and then I'll get heavy on the gas a little bit again. Okay, I'm seeing, oh Lord, and breathing. So maybe it's not as light as I thought it was. But that's it. Our time is up. Our time is up. I want you to be conscious of those things tonight. I want you to write them in your journal. And I want you to watch over the next week where criticism has come, and what was it about the criticism that you really feared? What was it about the criticism that you really feared? Was it really what they were saying? Did you really fear what they were saying? Or was there fear that you think you're going to be stuck like that the rest of your life? Because usually that's what's behind fear of criticism, that people are not going to like you because of what they said about you. Let's just say it's true. So let's just say you get a criticism, a critique that's true. What's going to change? What's going to change? Nothing. Hopefully you will, but that's it. Receive some criticism on this week. If y'all haven't done your handwritten assessments that you're supposed to go and interview someone special in your life and ask them if they see a pattern, or if there's anything about you they'd like to change, here's your chance to face this. Let's get this done. Let's face criticism on this week. And I promise I'll give you another one next week until it just rolls off your back like water on a duck. I want you to pay attention to where you're lacking assertiveness over this next week. That was a place for me to stand up. That was a place I got angry and rude and defensive instead of just standing up for myself. Apostle said, assert yourself. Don't be aggressive. And then perfectionism. Make note of the times you were being a perfectionist, and we'll talk about those times, and we can find a common belief, a core belief that you have, that why you tend to be a perfectionist at that particular day, that particular time. And it may just lead to a complete behavior change that needs to happen, or it's particular things that trigger the perfectionist in you. All right. Go home, drive safe. Isn't that fun to say? Because this is such a blessing, this virtual life. All right. Ready? 1 John, 3 John 1. Let's go. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. You have soul work to do. I made it clear for you. I recited it again at the end, gave you your takeaways. Get your soul work done so that you can prosper and be in good health. God bless you all. Good night. See you till tomorrow, 8 p.m. I made it. No coughing, no sneezing.
Let it